Hello, my name is Jesús Rubio, and I feel honored and proud to have been selected as the first place winner for Galeo's Cesar Chavez Essay Adult category. I want to thank Galeo's Cesar Chavez Essay Committee for selecting me, and I want to thank them for the support. I would be remiss to not have thanked also some of the folks that contributed stories to the essay that I will be reading. First of all, I want to thank the Teamsters Local Union 728, especially the Vice President Chuck Stiles, and my fellow organizing union steward Hamza Rahman. I want to thank now U.S. Senator of Georgia, Jon Ossoff, and his former political director under his campaign, Stephen Parker. I also want to thank the United Farm Workers and Alma Salazar Young. All of the people mentioned in this story greatly contributed to not only the success of the state of Georgia, but to Hispanics across the country. Now, the question of the essay was, how has Cesar Chavez influenced your life, and what impact will his work have on your future? Cesar Chavez has influenced my life in many concrete ways, as he paved the way for Hispanic inclusion within the U.S. labor union space that has long been dominated by Caucasian Americans. While I was an organizer at the Democratic Party of Georgia, we began a labor union movement to unionize our field staff and create more fair working conditions for the mostly young and exploited workforce of political campaigning. Through the trust of our newly minted labor union membership, I was elected to be labor union steward for the organizers under the representation of Teamsters Local 728 and served in the front lines of labor contract negotiations. While a far cry from the devastating and harmful work conditions endured by the farm workers during the Cesar Chavez era, and that continues to prevail under the industry, the incredible feats of taking on the agricultural industry and fighting for the working poor farm workers who face dangerous work conditions daily allowed for people like myself to advocate for the little guy and their work conditions. Cesar Chavez's contributions to the Hispanic community and the labor union movement are felt in very profound ways. During my stint working under the now U.S. Senator Jon Ossoff's senatorial campaign, my experience serving as his Latinx outreach director led to impactful interactions. Jon was very moved by the United Farm Workers and sought the endorsement of the organization. It led to me working very closely with the organization as we continued our relationship days prior to the endorsement and through the end of the campaign. Through these contacts, I closely worked with the regional director of the UFW in Georgia, Alma Young. Alma came to the U.S. as an undocumented immigrant. She worked in the fields for many years in Southwest Georgia and became a success story as a university administrator and a program developer for the Hispanic youth in Georgia. During the UFW meeting with the farm workers, they detailed fear of deportation and harsh working conditions. It was devastating hearing their stories. We must do better, I thought. Throughout the history of the United States of America, the immigrant and the minority have been scapegoated and blamed for most of society's issues. Through that rhetoric has come the punishment of those born outside of the United States, or with family members who are immigrants, through family separation, deportation, exploitative labor, and shaming tactics. The portrait of the Hispanic American has been one filled with ignorance, mockery, and disregard for the diversity within the community in the past and in the present. Rarely do Hispanic Americans and their contributions become something discussed by the academia, the media, or the elected officials. However, Chavez broke barriers and paved the way for many more to come. His legacy is one that elevated the Hispanics in the eyes of many Americans, and he paved the road for many future activists. Because of Cesar Chavez's contributions, many Latinos can too become a part of American history. Sí se puede.